Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Molly checking in with another video. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Man, what's good though? I want to start this video off by first off apologizing to my brother because it never should have took this long to get this car done, but it was a few things that happened in between. You know, granted, he is a OTR flatbed driver, so he was gone for majority of the months, but, you know, we did plan on having this car done a while ago. Waiting on some parts from LMR. The carburetor was, we were waiting on the carburetor for like a month and a half. And in that time waiting on the carburetor, I couldn't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because I needed that to run the car to check for leaks, all that stuff, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so I want to apologize to my big bro because this should have been done a long time ago. Second, I want to apologize to y'all again for not dropping a video in so long, you know what I'm saying? And, it's just been crazy. Like, y'all know I stopped driving trucks back in February. We came into the lawn service season, and that's all I've been doing. That's all I've been doing is lawn service season, lawn service. Been blessed. Been blessed because I'm able to feed my family, pay some bills, but, you know, I just don't have that extra money to put into my cars like I want to, but I'm getting there. I got 15 yards, 2 commercial properties, so I'm doing that. I'm also, my kids are out of school. They're not in daycare, you know what I'm saying? So when wifey's going to work, I have them, you know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I haven't been able to really just shoot too many videos. Like, I'll be tired, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, like I said, I'm sorry, you know, my bad, you know, everybody. But with that being said, I'm damn proud of myself. I'm proud of myself because anybody that know me and know that, you know, I don't mind working on cars. I hate wiring. I would rather pay somebody to do wiring than to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? And I, you know, to get the beautiful, like, good wiring jobs, you got to pay good money, and it take time and it take patience. My brother know that. He brought me this goddamn car anyway. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool, but honestly, I mean, we didn't even know it needed this much. Like, pretty much damn near all the wiring, besides the main body harness, that, you know, the main harness of the car, but anything else that was added in, like, you know, stuff with the MSD box, the ground wires, the fuel pump relay, the fuel pump power switch, the fuel pump wires, power wires and ground wires. I literally had to redo all of that stuff. You know, in previous videos, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to stop saying but in previous videos of the Mustang that I dropped, y'all seen everything that I changed, like, you know, fresh, you know, ground wires, power wires, etc. He also added some extra stuff in, so some stuff that when he originally dropped the car off, we didn't plan on doing, you know, so like, we ordered some stuff from LMR that I did. It was just, you know, we did a nice bunch of stuff on here, you know, and like I said, I'm proud of myself because for me to do this much stuff on somebody else's car, and it's stressful, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I had them valve covers off, when I had that carburetor off, like, that's a $10,000 plus maybe Ford motor. I don't got that to replace. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I could just find another $350, $200, $250, maybe even free, slap it in and keep going. Like, that's a built Ford motor, and Fords cost money to build. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I do give them. So anybody that build a Ford, you got to spend that bag. So yeah, I did a lot to that car. It was just, like I said, super nervous having the motor open, but I did it. The car is back running and driving. It is. He came over. The only thing that we had issues with, so everything went good. Like I said, the car back running and driving, and then we started having fan issues. I didn't touch any of the wiring for the fan, but the ground wires, because the ground wires, they were under the tire and they needed to be regrounded. So I just regrounded the wires. That was it. Drove the car one day, fans quit working. Then one of the fans stopped working. So he told me when he first got the car back from whoever built it, he had trouble with the fans. They rewired it, I felt bad because, they were working when the car got here. So, that made me feel pretty bad, that the fans stopped working while the car was in my possession. But I promise you, so he came over the other day, came over, and we did a whole bunch of testing and the wiring. We finally just took everything apart, took the fans out, ran some jumper wires, positive and negative, straight from the battery just to see if the fans still work. Both of the fans still work. So that's a great thing because the LMR don't even sell this fan kit that he got anymore. So we would have had to spend $500 on another one. But like I said, man, I did a lot, and I got like a checklist here that I had to write because I couldn't remember everything I did. But I did the window lining, the little trim that we ordered from LMR. I'll show y'all that. I'll show y'all everything. I did the weather stripping around the trunk lid. We fixed and swapped carburetors. Like I said, we were supposed to get the Berry Grant rebuilt. We got it back after a month and a half. It still wasn't right. So we ended up just putting the Holly back on there. Well, when he brought me the car, it had the Holly on there, but it had an adapter to make the fuel line work, which added like an extra 2 or 3 inches on, the fuel line, and it rubbed a hole in the heater hoses. So that was a couple trips up the Summit and stuff like that, trying to get the right AN fittings to make it work. But eventually got everything and made that carburetor work without rubbing the hole in the new heater hoses. So I did the reverse light harness, and we still got to make sure that worked. I rewired the fuel pump relay and the fuel pump power wire. For some reason, they had the fuel pump relay wire under the car right by the fuel tank, just pretty much out in the open or whatever. And they also had ran the yellow power wire under the car instead of going through the cab and, tucking it or whatever. So that's what I ended up doing. New ground wires, and I believe I dropped a video on that. Pretty much everything under the hood, under the fender, where the MSD box is, where the starter solenoid is, and all of that stuff, most of that had to be fixed because the tire had rubbed it, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up doing a lot of rewiring under there. The valve cover, gaskets, and studs. When he brought me the car, it had studs on there, and then we ended up putting like regular screws in there. So I did that. Like I said, having the valve covers off, that motor open was so nerve-wracking, and one of the studs gave me trouble getting out. It was crazy. So I ended up getting that done. New copper line for the oil pressure gauge that's inside the car, and that was crazy getting that done. New heater hoses. Like I said, the old ones had, got a hole rubbed in them, whatever. I had to drop the fuel tank for some reason. And then, like I said, I had to fix the wiring to the, I had to drop the fuel tank to fish the power wire and the new wires through from the fuel pump relay, through the hole in the trunk from the fuel pump relay because I moved the fuel pump relay into the trunk of the car. So I had to drop the tank for that and to like check something else. But yeah, and I ended up fixing the wiring for the fuel pump because it was just messy. Also did new spark plugs, pretty much a tune-up. New spark plugs, oil change. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did. And like I said, we're in the process of fixing the fan wires. The only thing I didn't do, which I'm glad I didn't do, was the new dipstick. Because the way I understood how to do it, I guess really isn't the right way, or isn't. It's not the right way, you know what I'm saying? And when Jeremy was over here, he showed me, and then, you know, he explained it to me, so we're going to do that next time he come over as well. And I also didn't do the weather stripping around the doors, that's easy to knock out, and I actually probably might go ahead and do it. But, yeah, so this video is going to be a little bit all over. I'm just going to drop all the footage that I have in this phone on this video. I'm shooting off my new phone. My old phone, I still haven't got it fixed yet, but I had a lot of footage in there of what I was doing to this car. But, you know, the car is back driving and back running. Like I said, I'm going to drop some videos in there, but right now I'm going to take y'all and go show y'all everything that I did. All right, so I don't know why I was shooting like that, but yeah. All right, so starting the trunk. Like I said, this is the fuel pump relay that they had wired under the car. So I redid the ground wire. Well, I redid everything with the loom. I don't like how that turned out, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not a wiring guy. Like I said, I was just supposed to do I wasn't even supposed to do this, you know what I'm saying? It was just some stuff that I had found that I ended up redoing. So that yellow wire is now ran under the body panel, under the carpet, all the way up to the front. You know, then you had a power wire that goes through that hole. And see, I didn't want to make like one big loom piece because it all didn't go to the same spot. And I'm pretty sure we're going to end up changing all this up because he want subs and all of that stuff. This was really just to get the car going or whatever. So I ended up doing the new power wires, like thicker, you know, power wires and stuff like that. I got a new ground wire, but I got to get this connector. Well, I got to get this battery post that has that top post side little deal on there because I don't like really doing stuff like that. But yeah, so I ended up having to make that hole just a little bit bigger, you know what I'm saying, to fit that power wire, and that red wire go all the way up under the car to the front starter solenoid, and then you got you know, the shut off switch back here. But yeah, I ended up doing that, rewiring that. Ended up doing new weather stripping around the trunk lid. These are the old, like the window trims that I did, and I'll show you. I see the shop brightened up now, you know what I'm saying? Got some lights. I got a couple things since the last video, but I ended up redoing, you know, this the trim that I replaced right here. Got them pieces from LMR. He's still missing another body panel, I think, that goes over that, but the new trim from LMR did that. This is where I did majority of the work. So, like I said, new heater hoses in the back. I ended up having to make a few trips to Summit because this, like the threads inside this fuel line is not AN or nothing like it's pipe thread. So I didn't know that. So that was, even the guy at, I took the whole carburetor, I took everything up there with me and still ended up with the wrong part that the guys at Summit recommended. So that was a trip trying to get the Holly to work or whatever. So I ended up doing that. I said new spark plugs, new ground wires, power wire on the back of the alternator. I said the fans are out because they weren't working. So we ended up testing them and they work now, so we're gonna just put them back in. Ended up doing new copper line for the fuel, for the oil pressure gauge. Loomed everything pretty much. I did do the housing for the dipstick though. Just got a sock over it. But yeah, we just gotta cut the actual dipstick itself to measure. New spark plugs. Ended up looming up some wires that I was doing up there. I know you probably not gonna be able to see it, but y'all could go back to previous videos and like I said, you'll see all that wiring and stuff I ended up doing and moving out the way. I promise it won't hit the tire. It's really in a bad angle that I'm giving y'all. It kind of look like it'll hit the tire, but and then once we put this cover back on there, all of that stuff will pretty much be cleaned up inside of there. So did a lot of rewiring under here. Said new window trim around there. Ended up running that copper wire inside there. Then that yellow wire that powers the fuel pump switch right there. I'm sorry. But yeah, I ended up rewiring that, taking that from under the car where it could be snatched out. And you need to put a new carpet in there and all that will be covered up. I think a plastic piece go over there too, so. Yeah, man, I did a lot. Like I said, man, even when it comes, getting up under the car, the fuel lines and stuff like that, I ended up redoing, the wiring to the fuel pump itself. Loom nose and stuff. So, yeah, it was definitely an adventure. I ain't gonna lie. I said, it was crazy to do all this work. But it took my confidence level up here because, like I said, everybody know me. I'm heavy Chevy till I die. But getting, as much wiring and stuff that I had apart and redid valve cover gaskets, all type of stuff like that. Having the cooling system open, it's no leaks or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a positive, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, there's no leaks. Literally the only thing we got to do is figure out this fan situation. But like I said, been talking for a minute, 18 minutes, but I had to show y'all everything. I'm about to mix these other clips in here. I promise, man, I'm about to get back on it. I'm about to start back recording. I'm ready to start back recording. As much stress as I've been through with this car, I'm ready to start back working on my own shit. You know what I'm saying? So got the fuel system and fittings for the OBS. We're gonna get that going. I need to order the kit to delete the OptiSpark on the white Caprice. Black Sheba starter making a funny noise, so I need to get that back in here, and the charging system is having issues. So yeah, I gotta work on my shit, but I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay locked in. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. It don't matter. But like I said, I'm finna drop the rest of the clips of this video, but I'm gonna holler at y'all. All right, so I'm checking in with y'all. This what I'm doing. So I'm working on the wiring, cleaning up some of the wiring. So this is the front driver's side, and this is where the MSD box is. inner fender, of course, ain't in there, so all that's gonna be protected. But some damages had already happened. So you can see the tire been rubbing against. That's the power wire for the alternator. So I gotta redo this bigger wire. That smaller wire is the power wire for the starter, I believe. So I'm gonna redo that wire. I'm not sure why it's a black wire on the power source. I have to figure out what that's going to. I believe this the power wire for the battery, which is cool. Hey baby, hold on. LMR, well, you know what I'm saying? So, see what. Hold on. So yeah, like I said, the package from LMR came in. These are actually the inner fender bolts right here. Let me turn this flash off. These are the whole fender bolt, cause it need bolts everywhere. But yeah, this the fender bolt kit. He got some more heater hose. I told y'all that one heater hose had got a hole in it when he had the other carb on it, so went on ahead and ordered new heater hoses. They didn't have the blue ones that he got on there now, so he just got the black ones. New valve cover bolts and studs. Missing a couple of those on the motor. No, let me take that back. These are the valve cover bolts and studs. These are oil pan bolts. Got the reverse switch, the reverse light harness. Put that in. And then just got some black clamps. So pack did touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna go ahead and turn it up. Like I said, man, I'm gonna get to knock some of this stuff out, man. Y'all just stay tuned. Y'all check in with me. All right, so checking in with y'all. So what I'm doing right now, I did the driver's side already. Swapped out the studs. Put in these different kind of valve cover bolts so he can get some type of bracketry to hold the spark plug wires right there. So the only thing I don't like about not having studs is you see how that gasket is pushed out right here. The stud keeps the gasket in place. With this screw, you know, tightening down the valve cover, and I'll show you on this one. On most Chevy valve covers, you got like an indentation that'll hold, you know, your gasket in place, kinda. That valve cover, the surface is flat, it's no indentation. And then also with the gasket being flat, when you go to tighten down on the bolts, it kind of pushed the gasket out. So I told Jeremy that, you know, we just gonna have to watch that shit, make sure we ain't create no oil leak right there. So right now I'm doing right now I'm doing the other side. I already got a few of the studs out, so I just got 2 more that I'm working out right now. So what you do is pretty much you double bolt that. You tighten that bottom bolt down a little bit to have some threads to tighten a second bolt down. Then once you tighten these two against each other, you just use that bottom bolt to unscrew the threads out. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing this. I don't like having valve covers open or any type of something where something could fall in the motor, and you know that's a total rebuild. So that's why I just videoed the end. So let me go ahead and get these last two out, close this motor back up, and then I'll check in with y'all in a minute. All right, man. So checking in with y'all, and I'm shooting off my other phone because the old phone won't charge. So I gotta get the battery fixed. So I hope the quality is the same or at least a little better. And there go that stuff again. So yeah, it's been crazy, man. That's what we got right there, and I explain how we got there because y'all know it was a blue fitting, then a black fitting, and this line was rubbing up against these heater hoses. That's why I had to swap that out and all of that. So anyway, man, we're gonna see what we got, man. This is the first time I try to fire it up, see what's up. So